As you lay in bed after a long day, you start feeling pretty good about yourself. You forced yourself to get back into running, and you were able to run double your distance in just a short amount of time. Your boss recognizes all your hard work and finally gets you the promotion you've worked tirelessly for over all of your colleagues. Your phone beeps, and your cute crush on Tinder got back to you. This is exciting. You have a fun date lined up for Friday night. As you lay down, finally feeling content with your life, you begin to relax and open up Instagram to kill some time, and you see a post from your old friend that you went to high school with. They just bought their first house. You scroll down and see that your ex is now in a happy new relationship and they are expecting their first child. You scroll even further down to see that young influencer who you follow that is 10 years younger than you is making millions off of their YouTube channel and they start flexing their wealth to their followers. Suddenly, all of your achievements compared to them feel meaningless, and you start to feel like a complete failure. As mentioned a long time ago by President Theodore Roosevelt, comparison is the thief of joy. I often come back to this quote as a reality check when I begin to make comparisons to those around me. Like so many others, I tend to compare myself to those who are similar to me in terms of gender, age, work, hobbies, etc. When I see someone in real life or social media seemingly doing better than me, I begin to diminish all of my accomplishments and undermine all of my achievements. So, why do we make comparisons? Well, as people, we tend to feel a need to make sense of things in a relative sense. As I mentioned before, I tend to make comparisons to myself on the basis of the factors listed here. As the more similarities there are, the bigger tendency there is to compare. This is all very normal and a natural human tendency. But just because it is normal, comparing yourselves to others is a flawed and inaccurate way of thinking. Before we go further, I just quickly wanted to introduce myself. On this channel, I'm here to share tips and guidance towards inner peace and building your confidence. Thanks, and continuing on. When making comparisons to other people, especially through the guise of social media, you need to understand that anything you see online is just a fabricated presentation in which people tend to only showcase their best moments. Even if someone has all the wealth, fame, and power life can offer, who's to say that all those factors actually contributes to happiness? Think about any time a celebrity you know has a meltdown or a public fall from grace. Perhaps your most idealized figure could come off as a shiny, bright, positive beacon, but behind the scenes they might be polar opposite of the character they are portraying to their audience. This doesn't just apply to former daytime talk show hosts, but really anyone who you see online. In this new age of social media, we are always competing with one another. It is so easy to get caught up in the highlight reels of TikTok users and Instagram influencers, but constantly measuring ourselves against others can have serious ramifications on our self-esteem and mental health. Okay, so that's all well and good, but how can I stop actually comparing myself to others? Let's break that down in 5 steps that have worked for me. Practice gratitude. Take time each day to reflect on the things that you're grateful for in your life. This can range from the little things to the things that matter most to you. Focusing on what you have rather than what you don't can shift your perspective, and gradually you become more accustomed to acceptance and contentment with where you are. Only compete with yourself. Instead of comparing yourself to others, set your own goals and work towards becoming the best version of you. The only person you should be in competition with is the person that you were yesterday. When someone else's achievements and successes occupying your mind rent free, it is a really easy way to inhibit any personal growth. Once you stop viewing life as a competition, you just become a lot more relaxed and happy with who you are. Set boundaries with social media. Cutting out social media was one of the biggest game changers for me. I could easily see firsthand from apps like Instagram or TikTok how others my age were living all these amazing experiences, and I felt like I wasn't living my life the way I should have been. Once I cut out the screen time, I instead had more time to focus on my hobbies and spending more time with my loved ones. I was a lot more focused and productive, and all in all, I was comparing myself less to others because I wasn't seeing what others were doing. I also realized how much time I saved by no longer doom scrolling excessively for hours on end. Set small goals and work towards them. Set little realistic goals that you think that you can achieve. Rather than wasting your time on what others have achieved, instead use that as fuel for ambition. This can be going to the gym, pursuing a new hobby, or even learning a new language. It's important to have something to do to keep your mind occupied. This also makes feeling alone much more enjoyable. When you're working on a hobby that's productive and you start learning and feeling good about yourself, it quickly diminishes any chance of you comparing yourself to others or feeling inferior. And finally, don't put down others. People who feel the need to talk badly about others, it usually stems from some deep insecurities within themselves. Rather than feeling envious and spiteful towards people who may have more than you, instead, look up to them. When you start to swap the negative talk and gossip for positive comments, you start to talk to yourself in the same way that you talk to others. People who are truly happy and content with themselves don't feel the need to talk badly. And when you start bad mouthing other people, it says a lot more about you than it does them. So, in the end, learn to practice gratitude, realize life isn't a competition, set boundaries with social media, set your own goals, and don't talk badly about others. Remember that your worth is not determined by how you measure up to others. Embrace your uniqueness, celebrate your journey, and just try to have fun and enjoy life. Remember that there is only one of you, and that is the fun of you. Up until next time, take care and thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and share it to someone who you think might be able to benefit from it.